You know, you hear people saying things like, don't wear high heels or a short skirt, you'll look like you're trying too hard, or don't wear metallic eyeshadow, it'll just show up all those lines, don't wear this, don't wear that. So should we listen to other people, or should we just wear exactly what we want? It's all coming up in this video. Hello, I'm your friend Deirdre, and a big welcome back to my channel, the channel for ladies over 50, and I hope you're all doing really, really well. So I've got 10 things to talk to you about that you might want to reconsider, especially if you're sitting there wearing all of them right now, or you might not. So my first point I think is really important. Never wear anything that you don't love. It's 100% up to you what you wear. And as I always say, wear what you love, what makes you feel happy and confident. Having said that, I just wanted to share my own opinions on some things that we might want to consider not wearing this year, or any year, come to that, if we want to look and feel the very best version of ourselves. You know, those fashion mistakes that we might want to avoid, from outdated trends to styling faux pas. So let's try not to walk accidentally into making too many fashion disasters, which, let's face it, can happen to all of us if we're not aware. So I would love us to have a bit of fun with this, and please don't take my views too seriously, especially if you don't agree with them. So my second point, a sharp intake of breath, is don't wear buttock enhancing underwear. There, I've said it. When I was young, the fashion in those days was to have a small bottom. And now, when you're young, it's to have the largest, most rounded one you can possibly get hold of. Usually with plastic surgery, if you're not born with this shape. And of course, if you are, that's great. But this is for young people, of course. But to try and get one artificially just seems a bit strange to me. So I need to ask you questions, ladies. What is wrong with our actual bottoms? You know, they're all lovely in their own ways, and different sizes just make the world go round, don't they? That's my view. So why would we want to stick something on to make us look like we have huge bottoms if we haven't? Comments please, as this really puzzles me. So I really hope you're still with me on this, because that was a little bit controversial, but I think you'll see what I mean. Now, here's the third type of clothes that I think we shouldn't be wearing. And the third thing is totally synthetic fabrics. Now here, I'm particularly talking about fabrics such as rayon, polyester, acrylic, and nylon. And of course, it's totally up to you, of course. But for one thing, on a practical level, synthetic fabrics just aren't breathable, so we can get really hot and sweaty in them. But also, fabrics like polyester and acrylic can be toxic to us too, through being treated with chemicals, and of course they're toxic to the environment. So instead, I would always suggest wearing breathable, mainly natural fabrics where you can, or at least blends. So things like cotton and linen and bamboo and wool, these kinds of fabrics, they're breathable, they're sustainable, and they do last so much longer too. So you might be thinking, yes, Deirdre, but you know, they cost so much. I get it. But some natural fabrics, I think, like cashmere, can cost more. But I really think that we can get good quality natural fabrics as well, like cotton, linen and wool, very inexpensively these days. In fact, I created a video recently on the best budget shirts for summer. And these were all natural fabrics, mainly linen and some cotton. And they were also under $30 or £25. So I really do think that it's doable. Okay, on to my next point about what we shouldn't be wearing, which is clothes that just don't fit our personal style. And I really do think that this is really important. It's so easy, isn't it, to fall into that trap of wearing the same old outfits instead of perhaps trying a few new styles to upgrade how we look and feel. And this can easily happen, to be honest. You know, maybe your clothes reflect who you once were, but that style and your life may have changed, moved on, and you've got different needs for your daily life now. So your style needs to fit with that. And, you know, it can also be a bit of a struggle to balance timeless pieces with perhaps new trends or styles that really excite us and we just get a few bits, you know, but it can make our wardrobes look a little bit chaotic. Now, if you're having a bit of a problem with what is your personal style, and you know, a lot of us do, I've created a video on how to find your own personal style in 5 simple tips, which I will link below, and I think you'll really find it useful to watch after this one. It's really empowering to find your own style. And reflecting who you are helps you to feel more comfortable too. So let me show you here, and this, I hope you'll laugh at this, myself in an outfit that's truly not me. Just to give you an idea of when something just feels off in my first look. So this top has a definite boho feel to it in design, which is definitely not a style category that I feel is right for me. It's lovely, it can look wonderful on a lot of ladies, but just not on me. I'm just not a frilly, ruffly sort of person, so I just feel a bit of a mess in boho, to be honest. And there's a lot more that's not right for me in this top. I think it feels like a shower curtain, this material, basically. It's kind of odd, and it's just too big and baggy for me. And by teaming it also with these linen trousers, although I really love them, I think teaming it like this, it just adds to the whole droopy, baggy feel. So I just think it's key to feel comfortable and kind of right in an outfit. Something that you feel happy wearing, which for me just isn't this look. Okay, on to my fifth point, which is to try not to wear too many statement pieces all worn together. Now, I do love to see bold jewelry and pieces that are statements sometimes, and it can look amazing on a lady to wear in a really standout piece, but you know, one. But what I mean here is just too many of them all together in one outfit. When there's just too much going on, you know, and you can hardly see the person underneath. It's that classic case of wear your clothes, don't let them wear you, you know. Now, I'm thinking mainly of things like big plastic beaded necklaces, matching bracelets, matching earrings, you know, the whole thing, big and bold and kind of overwhelming. Or even hats with kind of statement earrings, flappy bits and ribbons and bits of glitter, you know, just too much. You get the picture. So just select one thing, I think, that really makes an impact. Your favorite thing, of course. Okay, number 6 is to consider not wearing too much fast fashion without quality. Now, one of the most critical mistakes I think to avoid in 2025, or any year really, is falling into the trap of fast fashion without thinking about quality. Now, this is linked a little bit with my previous point about not wearing so many synthetic fabrics, but fast fashion may seem, on the face of it, like an affordable option, but it often leads to a closet full of clothes that just don't last, and of course they contribute to environmental issues. So what I really think is that investing in a few high quality pieces, and honestly that doesn't necessarily mean expensive, that you truly love will elevate your style and give you confidence. It's a real game changer, you know, when your wardrobe consists of timeless pieces that you can just really easily mix and match. Now, okay, on to number 7, which please think twice, or preferably a lot more than that, before you wear anything that makes us look like little girls. You know, there's a fine line between looking contemporary with it and a little bit youthful and looking like you've just stepped out of the nursery. Looking way more juvenile than you are just isn't really a stylish look. And I hope you will laugh at me and with me when you see me wearing this in my example here. You know, the colour is pretty and it kind of fits, as does the pickleball skirt, which in fact I've actually worn for games of pickleball in California, but not with this top. And there's that phrase, just because I can wear it doesn't mean that I should wear it. I think it's just kind of beyond inappropriate, isn't it? I think I look just plain ridiculous in this. And I'm not saying that you might be wearing this sort of thing. It is an extreme example because I wanted to do that to show you this. Although you might be, of course, in which case, just go and rock it, ladies. But I'm just making the point to dress in things which make the best of us and flatter us. And I, for one, I just don't feel comfortable in this top. You know, the colour, the design, the whole thing. I'm not 6 anymore, and I wouldn't want to be because that would mean I'd be even shorter than I am now. So number 8 to not wear is wildly clashing colours. Now, this can be a biggie because, you know, bold colours can be fabulous, but if they don't work together, your outfit can look chaotic. Now, I'm really not saying don't wear bold colour at all. There's nothing more vibrant than bold colours, especially at this time of the year, but just be careful not to bombard people with your colour. So how do you know if the colours you're wearing are clashing? Short of people staring at us and looking a little bit, you know, sick. Well, clashing colours tend to look jarring to the eye and they can make you feel uncomfortable, even just to wear them. When two colours clash, it's because they contrast more strongly than you like, either in hue, which is on the colour wheel, I'll explain in a second, or values, so lightness and darkness. Okay, so for example, a really bright pink with a really bright red would probably clash, as would orange and pink. And that's because you've got two very saturated colours of similar hue. And also colours that are opposites on the colour wheel, like yellowy mustard or purple and purple together, or red and green. They can work in small doses, of course, but not huge blocks generally. It can be a bold fashion statement, of course, to wear bold colours, but do be careful. I can feel lots of comments coming here. You know, colour preferences are a really personal thing, of course, and I'm talking really generally here, because if you love to wear clashing colours and you can carry them off, then go for it. But just be a little bit careful. Make sure you feel comfortable with it. That's the main thing. And if not, I suggest you think about opting for complementary colours that enhance your overall look. Okay, my next item not to wear this year, or preferably any year, kind of ever, is short bobble hem skirts. I mean, I just think that this sort of style may be best left to young girls, aged about 5. They're very short, they create tons of volume and width, and they just look kind of slouchy, unstructured, and they sort of look a little bit like dress-up fancy dress wear to me. Now, I hope I haven't offended anyone, I really do, because that's not my intention ever. But as I always say, if you love them, wear them. Okay, for my final item that I think women shouldn't wear or think twice about, and this can be a little bit of an issue, but do bear with me and I'll explain. Number 10, very obvious elasticated waistbands. So I'm not saying elasticated waistbands are bad, far from it. I think they're great, but and really practical, and they allow us to eat. But what I am saying is try not to allow them to show that you're wearing an elasticated waistband too obviously. As what this does, it tends to gather the material up into the elastic and then puff it out over your body, making that area look much bigger than it is. So maybe put a belt over the top, or what I think is really great is elastic around the back, you know, around the back of a pair of trousers or jeans or a skirt. And I want to share that with you in this outfit. As you can see, this gorgeous skirt has an elasticated waistband around the back, but it's got a flat panel at the front, which is kind of the best of both worlds, I think. It looks great, but it's got that flexibility of elastic at the back, which you don't see. Now, I just adore this skirt, by the way, so much. And I'll link it below for you too, because I got discounts on this skirt as well, so make sure you check that out. Anyway, as I say, you could hide an elasticated waistband under a belt, or maybe even tie your blouse like you're wearing it with a knot, so that the knot actually comes over the waistband and hides it. That's another good way. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, ladies, and I don't intend to offend ever anybody, but I'd love to hear about your fashion mistakes, so do drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to check out my other videos for more style tips that can help you level up your wardrobe in 2025. And please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and I'll see you in a few days for more videos. Lots of love. Bye.